We're like in the Soviet Union. That's what's happened to this country. You know, we are. Okay, go ahead. Let's go. Let's go. Think of this. Just think of this. Joe Biden failed on the border. He failed on inflation. He failed on gas prices. He failed on every single thing, including Afghanistan, the most vicious, embarrassing day or period in the life of this country, Afghanistan. Remember that disaster? The most embarrassing day. He failed on every single thing he touches turns to shit. Every single thing he touches turns out to be no good. He's no good on policy. He's no good on military. He's no good on finance. Our country is crashing. He's no good on inflation. Inflation is a disaster. It's eating you alive. It's a wonder Joe Biden and his thugs are so desperate to stop us. They know that we are the only ones who can stop them. We are the only ones. You know, when I say we have a big group of people like this all over the place, and we have more voters. I say we have 250 million people. I say we have 250 million people that want to see our country be great again. In the new Emerson poll just came out, we're up 4 points in Michigan. In another one, we're up 7 points. And I saw one where we're 11 points up in Michigan. And why wouldn't we be? We're also leading in every single swing state, every one of them. That's why we have to watch the cheating. Keep your eyes open. Watch the cheating. The radical left, Democrats rigged the presidential election in 2020. But we're not going to allow them to rig the presidential election, the most important day of our lives in 2024. We're not going to allow it. We're going to protect the vote, and I'm pleased to, this is the first time I've announced this, actually, announced that our campaign is going to be leading a historic effort in conjunction with the RNC, that's Republican National Committee, the state parties, and a team of the most highly qualified lawyers and other professionals in the country to ensure that what happened in 2020 will never happen again. We're not going to allow it to happen again. The only good thing about 2020, it showed how bad they are. It showed what a rotten job they do. That's why we're more popular now than we were 4 years ago. Because you like Trump. And you know what I hate? When these guys get on television, they say, the pundits, you know, the great pundits that never did a thing in their whole lives. You know, we have two very unpopular candidates. We have Biden and we have Trump. These are very unpopular. I'm not unpopular. We had 94%, 95% popularity in the Republican Party. I'm not unpopular. It's amazing. I'm not unpopular. I'm unpopular with China. China doesn't like me too much. You know, we took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China. No other president took in 10 cents. Other countries, Germany, other countries, I did a lot. Oh, I love that. Look at that young lady. Turn that around. I love that. Wow. That's beautiful. Wow. I want to buy that from you. I want to wear that. Thank you, darling. That's beautiful. Thank you very much. Really beautiful. No matter how you vote, whether it's early on election day, by mail or in person, it doesn't matter. We'll make sure your ballot is secure. We want to make you sure, but we're going to be sure that your ballot's secure. You're not going to put in ballots that don't count. You're not going to put in and do things. You're not going to have other people not there, but putting in a ballot. Like a couple of cases that you happen to hear about. I'm sure you heard about a little place called Detroit, right? Where they had more ballots than they had voters. A little thing like that. And then by the time the people got screamed at all night, they sort of said, oh, they were called every name under the book. And they sort of said, oh, but they had, think of it, they had more ballots than they had voters. We're not going to let it happen again. And you have to be very vigilant, too, because you can see it. You see it happening better than anybody else. It's really a source. We're going to watch the radical left Democrat like hawks. All these Democrats were going to watch like hawks because, honestly, I don't like saying this, they cheat like hell. They cheat like hell. In plenty of other places, too. And we're going to make America great again. It's very simple. We're going to make our country great again. Every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, I consider it a great badge of honor because I'm being indicted for you. Never forget, our enemies want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom, and it's good. It's good. Never. And it's good that I have a good memory. You know why? Because this teleprompter is facing you, not this. These teleprompters are just gonzo, folks. They're gonzo. I hate to use the word folks. Cross out the word folks. You ever hear Biden? Every other word is folks. Okay, folks. It's like a nervous habit. I don't use the word folks. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. And in the end, they're not after me. They're after you. And I just happen to be standing in their way. Standing in their way. And it's an honor to have this crowd. This is a hell of a crowd. That's a big, look at it. They go past the hangar. You know, I ask this all the time, and it never happens. It's very sad, actually. But I ask it all the time. It never happens. I want the press to take their cameras and turn them around. And right from the beginning, from 2015, you know, before we ran, and as we had these big crowds, never an empty seat, but we had the big crowds. And I would ask them, turn around and show the crowd. And even the ones that are semi-friendly, they just wouldn't do it. And I thought it was a mechanical problem that they couldn't do it, but they could. I learned that they could. There you go. But I'd like them to turn the camera backwards and see the crowds and see the people that can't even get in here. And I thought it was a mechanical. I figured the steel and you can't turn the camera. And then in 2016, there was a very bad fight in the backhand, left-hand corner of the room, and the cameras hardly had access to it. And those cameras turned around like a pretzel. And I realized they don't want to show our crowds. They don't want to show our crowds. But I'd love you and the fake news media to turn the cameras around and show the crowds. It would be a great thing. Watch. The cameras will be dead on. They never do it. Because they're fake. That's why we call them the fake news. That's why we call them the fake news. So we're pleased to be joined. It makes no sense. You know, it would be more exciting for somebody watching at home to see a big crowd. But for some reason, they just don't do it. And I guess they're instructed by the boss not to do it. But we're going to kick the boss's ass pretty soon.